What is up? Welcome back. Today we're going to be talking a little bit about the Wii U. The Nintendo Wii U. That either gives you emotions good, emotions bad, or you don't care anything about it. I like to think that there are a lot of people who do have good emotions about the Wii U, but it only sold 13 million copies worldwide. It was an abysmal failure for Nintendo, even though it had some pretty great games and some pretty great features. The reason we're talking about the Wii U is because not that long ago, I decided to make a tweet comparing the Wii U to the Nintendo Switch, specifically things that the Wii U did better. We all know the Nintendo Switch is selling gangbusters. It is on track to be one of the most successful Nintendo systems and video game systems in general. And obviously, that comes with a lot of love and a lot of hate, but I'm not about that. All I'm about is speaking my mind about the Wii U. I mean, this is my opinion, after all. I loved the Wii U. I thought it did a lot of things fantastic. And there are a lot of things that the Nintendo Switch doesn't do. Nintendo Switch is very bare bones. It plays games, and it has Hulu and Funimation. I think that's it. Maybe I'm missing like one more streaming service, but like it just plays games. It's quick, simple, and to the point, and evidently that's resonated with people. But there are things that I really do think the Wii U did better. So I put this post on Twitter. I listed them out, and it got a lot of engagement. For my posts, I don't typically, I might get 20 or 30 likes on something, but this got like close to 7,000 like engagements and 108 likes, and it was a pretty hot topic. And I didn't realize that the Wii U was such a hot topic. And by the way, there is one person that is like the Wii U person right now on my Twitter, and that's PK in the Universe. He has a YouTube channel, so if you are interested in the Wii U at all, I'm going to post that. If you're watching this on YouTube, I will post it down below in the descriptions, a link to his YouTube channel. His channel is kind of changing, I think, to be more Wii U centric. There's a lot of people interested in it right now, and that makes sense. It's 8 years old now? And it's about that time where people start getting interest in it and people start buying up the games and the systems. And there's not a lot of games and systems of that to go around. So it's becoming more rare and more expensive. And people are having some nostalgia for it, or people are wanting to experience it who didn't have an opportunity to experience it before. So it's a popular topic. So this was my tweet. List of things the Wii U did better. Free online, voice chat, no friend codes, messaging, no joystick drift, folders, virtual console, backwards compatibility. It had Netflix, eShop music, asynchronous multiplayer. What am I missing? So let's go through the ones that I listed. Now, it had free online. The Wii had free online, very limited, but the Wii U wasn't limited. It had a great online service with Miiverse and everything. And that's something I didn't even mention on this list, but people in the comments got me. So free online. The Nintendo Switch costs money. It's cheap though. I will say it's cheap. But it also requires you to, basically, if you want to talk to somebody on a Nintendo game, you have to download like a separate app, and you invite people through an app. It's a completely weird thing, convoluted thing. I think that the reason they did it on Nintendo Switch was basically to free up bandwidth, like so you wouldn't have the VoIP going, the voice bandwidth going through what was taken up in the game. Maybe I don't know. But like I said, Wii U had voice chat. There were games that you could talk into the mic on the gamepad, like Monster Hunter, and you just talk to people. It's voice chat. It was there. It was up to the developers. Now, there are some now who are doing that on the Switch. I think Fortnite was one of the first, so that is coming along, but it was built right into the capability on the Wii U. No friend codes. The Switch uses friend codes. You have to send a request to somebody, and you have to have their code. The Wii U didn't have that. There was actually an option for kids, I think, to do that, but the Wii U, you just had a gamer tag like everything else, and as long as you know that gamer tag, you could send a request. It had messaging. You had a friends list, and you could send them messages. Can you believe that? Yeah, everything has that. Every system has that. The Switch does not. There is no way to send your friends a message on the Nintendo Switch. No joystick drift. Nobody complained about those sticks drifting on the Wii U gamepad. They had other complaints, sure. Terrible battery life, clunky, feels like a Fisher-Price toy. But the sticks worked. My launch Wii U still works great. Folders. Can you believe that the Nintendo Switch does not have folders? There are people out there with hundreds of games downloaded myself included, because you can get games for free, for 10 cents, for 30 cents. They go on deep discount all the time. So people have amassed huge collections, and they still have yet to do folders. The Nintendo 3DS has folders. I just can't believe that the Switch doesn't have it yet. The Wii U also had Virtual Console. Pretty robust Virtual Console. From Wii to DS to all the old systems. It wasn't, I feel, as robust as the Wii's, but it did have a very robust Virtual Console. And speaking of the Wii U had backwards compatibility. So everything you downloaded on the Wii was transported to the Wii U through a process, and it plays Wii games. Full backwards compatibility, which the Nintendo Switch does not have. It also had Netflix. So did the Wii. I think so does the 3DS, or it did. But the Switch, sadly, no. It plays games, and that is all. Another really cool thing that's kind of missing these days is the eShop music. Just logging on to the eShop on the Wii U was kind of cool and magical sometimes, especially like in the holidays. It'd play this beautiful music, but the Wii eShop had it as well. And there's a lot of good vibes for that. It makes the Switch eShop seem more sterile, I guess is the best word for that. Asynchronous multiplayer. Now, obviously, this is because of the gamepad. You were able to do this. One person had a completely separate screen than everybody else, and you were able to kind of like play games you didn't see anywhere else. Maybe now with VR, that's more of an option, but you could have one person on the gamepad hiding and everybody else playing on the TV looking for him. And it was really cool. It had some really, really fun, neat experiences for myself, even for people who didn't even like or play Nintendo systems. That was always a big hit whenever we played a game like that, like on Nintendo Land. Another cool thing that, man, I wish was like standard, or I wish there was a way to do it with the Switch, but one person could be playing with the same disc Call of Duty on the TV and then Call of Duty on the gamepad cooperatively and online together. So it wasn't even split screen. It was better than split screen. Okay, that was my list. I said, what am I listing? And I'm going to go through some of the responses. There's a lot of people who said, yeah, that was an underrated system. 1000 Star says all facts. Kraken Skulls. The jokes about it were strong, but yeah, it was an underrated system. This is a good one. Puro Oso, he said Nintendo's problem is that they always want to innovate, but kind of forget what they did good. 3 years of Switch and they still haven't done the minimum for the console. And that's, I 100% agree with that. Alonzo Vines, he said that even with all that, many people still didn't care, and that's why it's the worst selling Nintendo home console ever. Yeah, well, yeah, home console. I think the Virtual Boy did worse. But yeah, I mean, he ain't wrong. But then Chase, the ultimate gamer, said people didn't care because of poor marketing. Switch is selling so well because they had a clear marketing catch, and it's obviously working since we know what the Switch is. Not a lot of people knew what the Wii U was, or they thought it was an add-on. That's true. There's still people who have no idea. The Wii U, Nintendo really, really overvalued the Wii. The name of the Wii, the brand of the Wii. So when they came out with the Wii U, I thought they think that they really had it in the bag. But fans are mercurial. Fans are fickle. It was a fad. There were a lot of great games on the Wii, and I love it. But the great success that it had, there's the pop culture zeitgeist that picked it up. Those are people that pick up on fads like Wii Fit, right? And Wii Sports. Those are a flash in the pan. In this case, a few years. And then by the end of the Wii life cycle, nobody cared about it. And sadly, if they named the Wii U something else completely, I really think it would have done a lot better. But then, maybe we wouldn't have had the Switch. It was a stepping stone after all. Winter's Thief Zero. Honestly, I really don't mind the friend code since it means you can use whatever name you want, which is true. There were games on Wii U that allowed you to use a different name, but I totally get that. That's cool. Everything else, though, yeah, I still think the Switch is stronger overall, but features-wise, it's so bare bones. So I'm not the only one who thinks it. I'd also add the activity log, which was nice to have on Wii U. Yes! Okay. The activity log, there was a version of it on the Wii through the Nintendo channel. There was the 3DS and the Wii U. Great activity log because you could see all the information, like how long you played that game. There's ways to do it now with the Nintendo app, but it's not as good. It's not as in-depth in my opinion. And then new comment said, man, I miss Miiverse. And Miiverse was so cool. It's the one thing that I wish was still here with the Switch. I mean, Miiverse was a built-in community. I used to go to GameFAQs all the time. That was the forum that I would go and talk about video games. And when Miiverse came out, I had no reason to go do that because I could just pull up the Miiverse, which, if you're not familiar, it was basically a built-in Twitter feed, kinda, just called Miiverse. So you pull up the game and everybody who's posted about that game shows up. And from there, you can add friends, you can compare times, you can start challenges, you could do art, share screenshots, and it had one for every single game, which was fantastic. Some other cool stuff with the Miiverse, or it was just really the online implementation of it, but they called it the Miiverse, was like a game like WiiU, where your friends would be in the game. Like if they died in their game, they'd show up in your game, and then you could, kill them and take their goods and loot, and then you go on to Miiverse and brag about it. So I had a lot of good fun and good times with Miiverse. JC Grooves, he said video chat. Yeah, I forgot about that. Had a built-in camera. Had a built-in microphone, so you could just straight up video chat people. Anybody on your friends list. Was a really cool feature. Ooh, Simon Stevens said a web browser. That's right. I forgot. And I use that thing a lot. If I was playing a game, I would pause it, pull up the web browser, and go look up, tools or tricks or whatever if I needed to. Sometimes I would use my Wii U as I was playing my PlayStation 4. Like I'd play Warframe on my PlayStation 4 and I'd have my Wii U gamepad pulled up as a browser. And that was back before, they had the really good phones, I feel like, or at least I didn't have a really good phone that could do it quite as easy. Robot Turkeys said discs. Yeah, I had some really cool discs. I don't know if I think that's a better thing. I think cartridges are better because of no load times, but then also you have more limited data, or it's more expensive, I say. But man, those discs were the disc art, I miss that, and they were so cool. They had this rounded edge that you don't feel in any other CDs. It was awesome. Estuaro Zenteno Zukucha said Zombie U. Oh man, Zombie U was like a return to survival horror for me, and I think the genre in general. It was true survivor horror. They even had a mode where you had one life. If you died, it was game over. Even in the regular mode, if you died, you lost all your... It was kind of like Dark Souls or Demon Souls, which I loved. You'd have to go try to get your backpack back if you died, but you start as a new character in the same spot, and you'd lose all the abilities that you had got up to that point, like your increased firepower and all that kind of stuff. Really, really cool game. Hard game. Love it. Sean Santarud said it had Wind Waker HD too. Yeah. Sadly, the Switch doesn't have it has Breath of the Wild and A Link to the Past and the remake of the Game Boy game. I'm hoping that pretty soon, just like they did with Mario, they'll have a 35th anniversary Zelda pack, because that's coming up this year. So we'll see. Quite a few people have said it's easy to hack. I'm not really into that, but yeah, definitely, especially now. Definitely something that puts it above the Switch. My name be Will. He said, I've always advocated the Wii U is probably Nintendo's greatest ever hardware. The Switch is the most impressive, but the Wii U had everything and more except the mobility. The home experience on Wii U still surpasses Switch today. That's bold words. And I get where he's coming from. I get it. There's so much that it does. And if Miiverse was still around, I'd probably be on it a lot more, honestly. It might even be a daily thing. I used to just browse Miiverse. I wouldn't even play a game. I'd hop on and browse it just to talk to people about games and see the new news that was coming up and stuff. Cesar Barroso said, and still did not sell 1/3 of what the Switch has sold. So it doesn't really matter. You're right. And my opinion doesn't matter, like I say every episode, and your opinion doesn't matter, really. People voted with their wallets, like they're gonna do, and what they voted for was not the Wii U. Oh, and Eric Chung, I had so much fun with the quirky title, Tank Tank Tank. Yeah, Tank 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 was, I think, a launch title, and it was like, I think, an arcade game in Japan. They brought it over here. You could play asynchronously. I don't think it had online, but eventually it became like a free-to-play game. But you could take your picture of your face, and then it would appear over the tank as you fought other people, and you'd see their pictures too. It was great. Katsu said a cool dashboard. Yeah, it does have a cool dashboard. Like I said, the Switch just feels so sterile. Everything is just made to be quick And I do like that about the Switch. Everything is so quick and fast, and it's not bogged down by all this fluff. But then that makes it feel sterile and less Nintendo-like. And then Lunar Flame, last but not least. And nobody bought it, so I'm not sure any of that stuff mattered. It mattered to me, and it mattered to a lot of people on here. But, you know, after the Switch, who knows what Nintendo will do next. One thing that we've learned is that Nintendo is unpredictable in the market. They are going to do whatever they want to do, and from gen to gen, we've had different controllers, different dashboards, different media. Everything's different, so who knows what comes next. We got a new boss in charge there, so he may just capitalize on the popularity of the Switch, and this is the new Nintendo, but we'll see. It's all just opinions, and they don't matter. All right, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.